Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, we're going to talk about the Bobs at Disney. Bob Iger is coming back to replace Bob Chapek as the Disney CEO, effective immediately. Immediately. I mean, somehow Bob Iger has returned as the CEO. Chapek, out. This story is coming from Deadline as well as pretty much every other news outlet out there.
It's all over the web. This is not a rumor. This is happening, yeah.
I mean, the Disney board sent out this sudden, surprising message that effective immediately, Bob Iger is replacing Bob Chapek in the company. It's crazy. They're saying Iger's going to spend the next 2 years as the company's CEO, and his goal during this time is to help with corporate growth. He's not expected to stay on board past the completion of his new contract, as the press release indicates that he's going to be preparing a successor during this time to handle the future operations of the company.
A Padawan not named Bob Chapek.
No, he's got to find another Bob.
It has to be Bob, yeah. We need another Bob.
It's Disney, it's Bob. It's how it goes.
I wonder if this has anything to do with Iger's political aspirations, because when he left Disney, there was talk of, I think, a presidential eventually. I mean, not that he's been in politics at all, but he's obviously very successful at Disney. He has big aspirations, big goals.
Well, we have seen that a businessman can go and be the president if
for better or worse, depending on your point of view. Yes, that is
depending on how the public votes.
Yes, but I mean, we do know that in today's world, you don't have to have political experience to be president. Again, better or worse. We don't usually dive into politics here, so I'm not going to get into that topic. That is a landmine of a topic. We'll just say that
it's a can of worms, and we talk about Star Wars.
Yes, we talk about Star Wars. We try to have fun here, but there's a political element here potentially. I mean, even with Chapek, there were some things over the summer with the governor of Florida, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably don't care, and if you do, I don't need to explain it to you. So I do wonder, what is the real story behind all this? What is going on here?
Well, I think the reason that they decided that Chapek got the boot, so to speak, is the stock market.
I don't think it's so much the political side of things. I believe the stock has been almost 40%. It's crashed recently.
49% this year alone. From January till like Friday, they've taken like a 49% loss to their value. That's not acceptable.
Well, yeah, it is the streaming.
And the pandemic is pretty much over, so why are they still losing money?
Yeah. I mean, the streaming market is extremely competitive right now. And you would think Disney would have an edge, considering the properties they have.
I mean, yeah, but don't forget, those properties were brought to you by Bob Iger. Who comes back and he goes, hey, you know what? He had expansions to the parks. He acquired Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios. So he has shown he's proven his mettle. He can bring properties that will enhance Disney. He's done it in the past, and they're hoping for another miracle.
Well, I hope this means good things. I mean, under Iger, obviously, we got the sequel trilogy. Some people love it, some hate it. I know it's a touchy subject. We just like bringing up touchy subjects in this video, I feel like. But, I hope Iger, whatever he does with Star... Because, I mean, that's our main concern here, for this. We're talking Star Wars, obviously, and Marvel. Again, there could be other ramifications and things here. But for us, it's mainly, what does this mean for Star Wars is the question I think we are most interested in.
I don't know. I mean, remember, Chapek's also the one who gave out that gag order to Kathleen Kennedy about stop announcing projects.
Supposedly, yeah. I mean, that's all. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because stop saying things that never come to fruition. That's bad for business, too. You can't keep making promises and not deliver.
Perhaps Iger will straighten out the ship.
I hope so.
He'll be like, you know what? We need to fix Star Wars. It's an expensive property. They paid a lot of money for it.
You paid $4 billion for it.
And you haven't made a movie in forever.
That could have something to do with it, too. So, yeah, it's hard to say what this really means for Star Wars. Again, we can speculate. We can make guesses about why this happened. We can do all sorts of things. But we are just going to kind of leave it at that, I think, and say, hopefully, cross your fingers, this is somehow good news for Star Wars.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's move on to our next story then today. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is now reportedly receiving the release date at the Game Awards, which is funny because when we did our catch-up on what we thought was going on with Jedi Survivor, we did talk about when we could be getting a release date. From the insider that we were following, it was supposed to be in December because they got to ramp up now advertising if they're going to do this supposed March late March, early April, something like that,
Yeah.
release. Now, another report came out from a different industry insider, Tom Henderson, who claimed that his sources confirmed a new trailer for the game is premiering at the Game Awards 2022, revealing the official release date and detailing pre-order information. And that award ceremony takes place December 8th.
I mean, that makes sense. If you are going for that March, April release window, it's time to start ramping things up. What better time to do that than the event most gamers are going to be watching or paying attention to?
And depending on when it goes on sale, you can still get somebody a pre-order for Christmas.
Yeah, it's true. You could.
You really can.
I
You
mean,
can
yeah.
buy them a game and be like, yeah, it's
It'll
coming,
come
but I already
eventually.
got it for you.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, why not? I'm excited for the game. I'm excited to know when the official release date is and how close the sources we were looking at were.
Yeah. I mean, I think they make sense.
I think they make a lot of sense, too. All right, and on to the last thing we usually do on our Mondays.
Dun, dun,
New this week in Star Wars, etc. Tuesday, the High Republic Convergence comes out. It is the first adult Phase 2 novel, which, again, takes place before Phase 1. Hooray!
Hey, you read the first book of Phase 2.
Yes, I did.
That's all you had to say about it.
Yes, it is.
I think we're both going to try to read this one, though. I think we're going to try to keep tabs on the High Republic, for better or worse.
For better or worse.
Me having read the first phase and you not having read the first phase.
It's a little awkward, yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of questions after reading this previous book, the first book.
Yeah, the young adult novel?
Yeah, you're like, well, what's this all about? I'm like, well, if you read Phase 1, I mean, it is an entry point, yet at the same time, I think you're going to miss quite a bit if you
Well, and
jump on
sadly,
right here.
reading that first book, without spoiling anything, I suppose, reading that first book without having any context to the rest of the High Republic and reading the end of it made me really not sure if I wanted to read anymore.
Fair enough. It wasn't the best book.
It wasn't because it was totally poorly written or anything, it was the ending, which I won't spoil.
Which you kind of do by saying that you didn't like the ending.
Well, it could
Not
still
liking
mean
the
many
ending.
things that I didn't like
It
an
could.
ending.
It could.
Also on Tuesday, Star Wars: The Secrets of the Bounty Hunters comes out. Which, if you've seen the other ones, The Secrets of the Jedi and The Secrets of the Sith, it is more along the lines of a child's reference book with, like, pop-out stuff and fun information. Don't worry, I'm not making you read that one. Wednesday, Andor Season Finale.
Ooh.
The payoff is going to be huge. I can feel it.
I
Feel it. For comics, we have Star Wars Revelations #1, Yoda #1, because Yoda needed his own book
He
too.
definitely needed his own book.
And you know what? It's going to be just like the Kenobi book, where he's
Pointless? I mean,
where he's sitting in his hut on Dagobah, reminiscing about the past.
yes,
It's literally the same premise storyline.
because they can't make new characters that
Yes.
people care about in the
Yeah.
comics.
In the first of 3 story arcs, there will be a desperate cry for help that's going to reach the Jedi Council on Coruscant, and only Yoda can respond. But how far will he go to protect the community from attack? I know he'll survive. And also for comics, we've got Dark Horse Star Wars Hyperspace Stories #3, which will follow a which will be a Finn and Poe story.
Pin.
I know, I called
They're
them
gonna call
Pin,
it Pin.
which I edited
Oh my
out.
goodness.
So yeah, now they all know I said Pin the first time. A Pin story. It's a foe and Pin.
Jeez. Foe and Pin.
Foe and Pin.
I just like Pin. I think that is the perfect name for them.
Foe and Pin.
Oh my god.
All right. And the first of the showings of Andor, episodes 1 and 2, will be on ABC on Wednesday night.
Yes.
Check your local listings.
If for some reason you haven't seen it on Disney Plus,
Or if you're trying to make somebody else watch it.
yes,
who
get
has
your
cable.
family to watch it. Hold them
Alright.
hostage. Do what you got to do.
Thursday is, of course, Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yay.
Thanksgiving in
Happy
advance
Thanksgiving.
for those.
Eat lots of turkey, have lots
Yeah.
of fun, watch football parades, all that good stuff, family
Football
time
parades.
and stuff. Football and parades. And Andor will be premiering on FX. On Friday, and I think Thor forgot about this one, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on Disney Plus, which I'm going to watch with him. And he's going to suffer through it because he has a face right now that says,
I have a face like, who cares? I guess.
And
I don't know.
Andor will be on Freeform. It's also going to be on Hulu, but that's a streaming service and not an actual day.
All right, well, that is all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below and tell us what you think of today's news. Tell us what you think this Chapek and Iger switcheroo.
The swapping of the
switcheroo.
bobs.
Yeah, the swapping of the bobs means, what it might mean for Star Wars, Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.